Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is AutumnEmbersyt and today I am building an Art Deco house in the world of Deco Valley. So here on my channel I have already once before created an Art Deco house, but that was for my houses through the Ages series where I would build a home that you would typically see being built during that time period here in the UK. But for this house I knew I wanted to incorporate the mid-century modern design. And there was this house on Pinterest that had this sunken garage, and I was like, ooh, that is an element that I really want to incorporate into my home. And for this house, it's very much predominantly the Art Deco design from the exterior here, and so this will be a good way to incorporate the mid-century modern design for the exterior, because I already knew that for the interior that's where a lot of the mixing will be happening. But yeah, I really want to incorporate the sunken garage, and I first started to build this lot on the Judith Ward lot, and I believe her lot is a 30 by 30, so it's quite a wide lot. And as I was building the garage and manipulating the terrain so there was a nice slope from street to garage, I noticed from street level it looked a little bit ridiculous because the terrain just dropped out of nowhere. It was very steep looking and it looked ridiculous, it looked stupid, and I was like, okay, I think I need to move this lot backwards a little bit. But the more I did that, the more I moved the house backwards, the more I was eating into the back garden, and I really wanted this house to have a back garden as well as a front garden. And I was like, I need to move this lot to a lot that is slightly longer and then it is wider. So I found this lot, it's in Deco Valley. I think it may be a 50 by 40, it could be 50 by 50, but it's a much longer lot. It's more of a portrait lot, and it gave me enough space between street and garage to have a nice slope going down where it doesn't just drop off into nothing. And we also have enough space for a back garden. And a lot of these pictures that I was looking at were mainly the Miami Art Deco houses. So these houses are quite colourful, and they also have lots of like round windows on them. And I was like, oh, that's quite a nice interior choice design. I want to incorporate that again into my own build, and so I put down some round windows when we get to the windowing section. I put some round windows. I also put some round windows by the entrance area. I do then delete that round window, along with the door that I then chose, because I then got the high school years pack. So halfway through this build, I got the high school years pack because I said to myself, when I have my first therapy session, that is something I'm gonna buy for myself, just to say, well done, you've gone through the therapy session. And I've been wanting the high school years pack for basically day one. When watching all those build and buy review, I really wanted the pack. And so yeah, when I had my first therapy session, I was gonna buy it. But it was getting to about 9 months, and I was like, I don't think this therapy thing is gonna happen, which is a shame. So I'm just gonna sod it. I'm gonna buy it. I can't wait any longer. I'm just gonna buy it. And as soon as I said that, I got an email through saying that I'll be having my first therapy session. I had a name of my therapist, so I definitely knew he was going to go ahead. Because once before I've had like an email saying that I was going to have therapy, then it got cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances, so I had to wait a little bit longer. But yeah, I got an email through, and so I was like, okay, I can get going now, I can get building, I can get recording, because I typically, when I build, I tend to build these houses twice. So I will do all the messy decision making and twizzling the camera and changing my mind once, and then once I'm happy with the shape, with what I've got, I will then take pictures of the entire build on my phone, and then I'll bulldoze it, and then I'll start recording and build it again. So all that decision making, all the twizzling of the camera is done. I can just focus and concentrate in building what I had. So it's a much cleaner video for you guys to watch, because I am mindful when I'm recording. I need to keep as steady as I can. So yeah, so these are the round windows. Those windows will stay. It's only the round window by the front door area which goes, because I use the high school years door, and it's quite big, and the round window couldn't stay because just how big and wide that door was. And I'm really happy with the door I got to use, because the Get Famous door that I was using, it just felt so small and diddy compared to the entire build. It just felt like it would buckle and crash underneath the weight of this very big chunky build. It's a big one, it's a big boy. Yeah, and in my head, if this house could move, as it would move, the ground underneath it would shake. And so yeah, I felt this door was a little bit too small, and so when I got the high school years pack, it was one of the first things I changed. I got rid of that door. I went for the Art Deco door that's in that pack. So we are now inside, and this is where we get to see the mix of the mid-century modern mixing in with the Art Deco style. So the downstairs is very open plan, which meant I had to kind of stick with one colour scheme that kind of went throughout the entire downstairs. And so I went for a pinky greenish blue colour scheme, as you would typically find pink being used in the Art Deco era, as well as in the 1950s and in the 1960s when the mid-century modern style was around. And when we go upstairs, however, I will be using the more deeper jewel-like tones that you would also see in the Art Deco era. However, I don't want to use the dual darker tones for the downstairs of this house, as I used a lot of them in my previous Art Deco home that I built for my houses through the Ages series. So I decided to use them upstairs, where I could also use the more rustic, earthier tones that you would also find in the 1970s, which again, when the mid-century modern style was still around. So I tried to use other colours that you would find from those time periods when these styles were around, but upstairs, as I had to stick to a uniform colour scheme, as this was a very open downstairs area, just to make it all like flow and look like one unison space or unifying space. So downstairs is very much a pinky bluish green pastel colour scheme, and other colours that would go alongside those colours. And I used a lot of the Maximalism kit, mainly in the I think I used a little bit upstairs, but for the downstairs I used quite a bit, especially using these black and white tiles. And I had a look at whether the Maximalism style has any reference to the Art Deco style, and apparently the Maximalism style has many influences with the Art Deco style, which is probably why I was seeing lots of Maximalism mood boards on Pinterest when I was looking at Art Deco style. And when I was looking at like kitchens I could do for my build, I was looking at lots of Art Deco bars, and a lot of them had this black and white tile, and I was like, oh, we got some of that in The Sims 4, we have that in the Maximalism kit. And so I used this down here. And these cabinets, I thought these were great, because in the mid-century style they were quite fond of cabinets that didn't have any handles, so I thought this was brilliant. And when I got the high school years pack, I got it when I visit the upstairs, so I will tell you when I got it, but it was mainly when I was doing the bedrooms for the 2 upper levels. But when I got the high school years pack, I did go back downstairs just to see if any of the new items could fit in what I had downstairs, and just replace some of the items. But overall I was really happy with what I had. and all the items that you see me put down, they stay. I don't put any new high school years items. All the high school years items are upstairs because that's when I got the pack. But just then you saw me twizzle the camera around, and behind that pink beam wall I do put down a laundry unit with a cats and dogs bowl. I think you saw me put that down, but I also sort of like decorate it a little bit more, and so I put down some no CC gallery art, and it's like laundry art. And I also pop down a broomstick, not broomstick, there's no witches in here, but I put down a broom, dustpan and brush, and a hamper. And so yeah, I decorate that area to make it look like more like a laundry area, and I thought it would be a nice use of space. And I use a lot of no CC gallery art in this build, just to help me achieve the look that I was going for, because I don't think I would be able to achieve that look, those two styles, and mixing those two styles together without using gallery, no CC gallery, no CC art from the gallery, there we go. And I was doing this at the time when, just after when the gallery updated itself, and everyone was having all those bugs and all those problems with the gallery. And one of the problems that I was experiencing, but I didn't hear anything about for a long while, was the duplicating problem in the gallery. When you go and look at somebody else's gallery page or your own gallery page, I found out you will start seeing duplicates of the same build over and over and over again. And when you're trying to find pictures that you want to use in your Art Deco mid-century house, it was getting a little bit annoying because you're not seeing the full list of artwork that you could have seen or could be seeing. So yeah, that got quite annoying, quite frustrating, and not be able to see all the artwork from all these different people that I was getting the artwork from. But as you can see at the back there, I did find quite a few pieces, which was great, which definitely helped in the making this house really look like there's a nice blend of mid-century modern with the Art Deco style. That picture there, I think that's Audrey Hepburn. I think that is the Breakfast at Tiffany's poster picture that's used. I'm not entirely sure. I did look it up very quickly when I was doing this because I was just curious, and I think that maybe the Breakfast at Tiffany's poster, I'm not entirely sure. But this is the living room. We have two living rooms, so this is more of like a area where you would go and talk, and I feel like this entire bottom level is a level where you have lots of dinner parties, where you have lots of talking and whining and dining and smoozing is that a word. But yeah, this is just like a casual formal living area. There's no TV in this one, but I do put in another TV area, so we have one upstairs. So there's no TV in this area, but we do have one upstairs, and I felt like that was important to put a TV in upstairs, just so that there was like entertainment space, space for your Sims to play games and have fun, whereas this is more of a talking space. It's a sunken living room, so like a conversation pit. And here I am doing the fireplace. I've done like a middle central fireplace, which was seen a lot in the mid-century design. And for this, I decided to use some cats and dogs. I think they're like training hoops for your doggy. And you can choose to set them alight for extra fear factor for the dog. And this was a what's that tutorial thing with Bob that you see on like Instagram. I put the person's name of who it was, who was by, And I decided to use this technique because technically we are on the second floor in the game because of the sunken garage. And so I decided to use this technique instead. I shrunk these hoops of fire down, and that was a mistake. It looked very odd and strange. I should have done that. And so to grab those hoops of fire back again and make them normal size and just shrink them, like push them down into the ground with a Twisted Mexi Tool mod, I had to basically destroy the entire fireplace, taking all these rocks away, taking all the low-lying shelves away that I've decorated the exterior of this fireplace with. I had to completely destroy it to grab those hoops of fire or rings of fire, so they didn't look as weird. But once I built up the fireplace, once I grabbed those hoops of fire out of the way and made them normal size again, and then just pushed them into the ground with the Twisted Mexi Tool mod, it looked way better. It looked like the video that I saw. So if you are doing this and you're technically on the second floor in The Sims 4, don't make your hoops of fire smaller. Just push them into the ground with the tool mod if you have it. Because I had to remake that entire fireplace about 4 times, because on other occasions I was just wanting to complete this build and just do the back garden, and because the inside has platforms inside, the back door, I needed a platform so your Sims can actually use the garden and access the garden via the back door. And for some reason the game was not allowing me to add a platform outside to attach the outside area to the back door. It wasn't allowing me. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to drag the back section of the house out and use that platform that it gives me. And as I did that, the game had decided to delete everything near the back door, including the fireplace and some of the decorative objects that I had to put down, which were quite a few. And so yeah, I had to rebuild it all over again for like the 4th time going. So this is the second living area. This is where your Sims would chill out, watch some telly, play some games, without destroying the mood of the downstairs. If there's like a party going on, they can just hop upstairs and have a bit of fun, take a bit of a break. And for this living room, or the second living room, I decided to use the colours from that Vogue picture on the wall. So we have the yellows and the blacks and the greens in there. And it looks very deceiving because it looks like a very 70s looking living room. In my opinion, I feel like it, but actually it's quite an Art Deco living room because Art Deco was a fan of animal prints, and there was like gold objects in there. And this is 1 of 6 bedrooms, I think, and those wall decals on the wall there by the bed, that is actually a rug from high school years. I noticed that the rug was kind of looked like some of these wall decals that I was seeing on Pinterest, and I decided to use the Twisted Mexi Tool mod just to elevate it and rotate it and to stick it on the wall. And so I'm using a rug as a wall decal. And so I am envisioning this to being a grandparent's bedroom, because I'm seeing this house being for a older family. So we have like grandparents, parents, and then teenagers. We got 3 teenagers in this house, and I decided on this before I got the high school years pack. I didn't decide it because I got the high school years pack. I got the high school years pack because I wanted the lovely Art Deco furniture that was included in this pack, and I absolutely love the Art Deco bathroom tiles, or like the kitchen tiles, or just tiles. I absolutely love them. mixed in with the pink maximalist floor tiles. I love the bathroom. For the bathroom, I decided to go for very pink because back in the 1920s/1930s, perhaps 1950s, I'm not entirely sure, can't remember, I don't have my notes with me, but I definitely know back in the 1920s and the 1930s, they were a big fan of pink bathrooms. And so for this Art Deco mid-century modern house, I decided to go with a pink bathroom. We have white bathroom suite, so we have like a white corner bath, a white sink and loo, but for all the extra details like the hand towel and the bathrobe, I decided to go with the colour pink, just to have a little nod to the pink bathrooms that you would have seen during that time. And also, like I said, the floor tiles are also pink. So this is when I got the high school years pack, and when I decorated this for the first time, I did not have it, and I changed the bed, which I'm so glad I did, because when we have that step down shape that you see a lot in Art Deco design, but we also have the jungle leaf pattern, which is a very big thing during the Art Deco era. They're like a bit of jungle leaf pattern. So I thought that was a great bed for this bedroom, and also the colours of the bed, the duvet bed. I thought the colours of the duvet cover, there we go, really suited the colours I had already chosen for the bedroom there. So this is the bathroom. We have 8 bathrooms, I believe, in this build. This is only one of 8. The bedrooms upstairs, I believe all of them have en-suites. Only about 2 of them have en-suites on this floor, I think. I can't remember. But we also have a gym upstairs, and so that also has a bathroom attached to it. And for the upstairs level, I didn't want the entire upstairs just to be taken up with bedrooms. I wanted there to be another skill building area, and so I thought, let's do a gym. I never really do gyms in my builds. I don't know why. I tend to go for a study area or like an art area or like knitting, but I thought, let's do a gym. So for this build, this is number 2 or 3 of the teenagers' bedrooms, and I thought for this one I want to go with the over-the-head cabinetry that you would sometimes see in the 1950s, 60s and 70s, which again, all the decades that the mid-century style was about. And so I thought I really want to incorporate it into my build, and also I get to use these blocks, these shelves. I found them quite easy to use when you like stacking them one after the other. But as soon as I wanted to go against the grain, I was finding it quite difficult. The game was saying no. I was like, what are you talking about? I just want to stick it here. So I had a little fight with the shelves there, but I managed to get where I wanted to be. And I do use a lot of these curvy chairs in this build. They are referencing the curvy chairs that you would see in the 1960s, and for this I'm putting down a desk area. We have 2 wardrobes because I really just want to use both the wardrobes. Got a nice big lamp in there, and put down this rug. I felt like the colours in the room really pulled out the colours of the rug. I actually put down the rug first when I was first making this, and then I pulled the colours from the rug onto the walls, and that's how I decorated this bedroom. But yeah, I really love this bedroom. I actually like all 3 teenage bedrooms I've done for this. We don't get to see the parents' bedroom because there's just a lot to do for this build. But this is the gym, and I really feel like you can really see the 2 styles merging together and seeing how they really work together, because there are a lot of similarities between the Art Deco style and the mid-century style, despite being about 40 years apart, but there's still like a lot of similarities. That's why they work so well together. And I really feel like this dine out wooden wallpaper really worked. And I really love it. I really love the really warm red tone we got in there. And this is the 1960s bedroom. So for the colour scheme in here, I actually used a colour scheme that was used in an Art Deco poster. And I thought for this teenage room, all they want to do with their life is to explore space, do a bit of knitting on the spacecraft, and explore the different worlds and the plants that they have. But that's all they want to do with their life. So we have lots of space things in here, knitting and floral patterns. The space theme, because the 1960s was all about space and their future and spacey things. And the floralness is to do with the hippie floral 60s vibe. And like I said, the colour scheme is from the 1920s poster. And this is where I'm going to leave you. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and have a great day.